Dr. Pete Sulack. It is good to have you in the building.
It is an honor. It's a beautiful place.
You're a dear brother. Wait, you just whisked in. We'll have time. I promise. We'll have time here, and you'll get to know it better, and we'll sit and we'll visit. But it's good to see you.
Yeah,
honestly.
It's an honor.
First, brother in Christ, love you for who you are, and then really want our audience to get into that mind and tap that mind. So I think we'll do several of these. We will, because there's so much to discover. There's a huge discovery in your backstory and where you are. But just real brief, Knoxville, Tennessee. Mm-hmm. Take us through this center, a little bit of the background briefly, and then I want to dive into a topic.
I'm from Minnesota. Didn't know anyone below Minnesota. No family, friends. I wanted to do an internship in chiropractic school with the largest clinic in the world. And that just didn't work out for me. So I ended up in Morristown, Tennessee, which is east of Knoxville, with a gentleman. And I said, hey, I'll be your janitor. And he wanted me to go into practice with him there. And we said, we're from Minnesota, but we'll kind of look around this area. And the last day before we were going to go back to Minnesota, we thought we were taking a wrong turn into Knoxville, the West Knoxville, which is called Farragut. And my wife and I looked at each other and said, this is it. So we went back, told our family, hey, we're moving to Knoxville. They all thought we were crazy. And then I knocked on 11,000 doors. So for 4 months, 10 hours a day, 6 days a week, I just hustled. And I'm very introverted by nature, but I was just committed to being rejected and knocked on doors, 11,000 of them, met like 3,200 families. And I just had a plan that I was going to knock on the door, ask them their advice. And then it just kind of the rest is history. We had one of the fastest growing chiropractic clinics in the world. We were seeing 1,000 visits a week in about 11 months. And just after 20 years now, God's been very gracious to us.
That in itself is a show, right? Mm-hmm. That we'll dig into, and we are going to do that. We'll do it, but there's so much there to learn. And just the hustle itself, just the dedication and where that stemmed from, and the word from God and the vision. Moving to a city very much like us. I mean, we moved to Dallas, having never been to Dallas, loaded a truck, and my father-in-law said, well, where are you going to live? And I said, we don't know. Yeah. And we showed up here with the truck driving around Dallas praying, saying, is it this house? Is it that apartment? Is it, literally. And that's how it happened. So there's so much to discover there. But for today, with that context, for people now knowing, okay, knocking on 11,000 doors alone, okay, there's dedication, there's hustle, but you learn a lot over 20 years of serving people, right? And serving people who are in need, in some sort of a critical need, of a medical need, pain, whatever it is with chiropractic. And I think so much of chiropractic is misunderstood.
Yeah, without question.
As an athlete, we appreciate it because athletes use anything. Anything that is legal that can help to make me get back on the field and perform. So athletes are very pro chiropractic. I want to debunk some of the things in chiropractic maybe in a following episode, but I want to focus on one particular thing. If you could walk us through stress response and stress. So I want to label this episode stress. I want to talk stress with you because we just came through COVID. We came through lockdowns, shutdowns, metaphysical, physical, emotional, just stresses on the body. It's not just worry. It's so much, right?
Yeah. And stress.
Use that as a jump off.
Yeah. Stress is so much more than just drama. Because a lot of times I say, well, I had a patient that came in from Texas to Knoxville here this last week, and he goes, Doc, I don't really have stress. Yeah, you're 84 years of age. You have degenerative disc disease.
Yeah.
Okay. Stress is everywhere. Stress is inevitable. In fact, we live in an epidemic of stress right now.
It's not just drama. It's like I'm saying, no stress in my life. There's no drama in my relationships. The body is under stress. Right?
The body, every day we go through stress, and not all stress is bad stress. Working out is a good stress. Yeah. It actually creates more strength in the body. But stress is really, it's physical. Car accidents, falls, whiplash injuries, or just sitting at a desk all day is physical stress. It puts a demand on the body. And stress really, if we want to break it down very simply, it's anything that takes my body away from rest or homeostasis in the body. So it can be physical stress, and physical stress affects what's called the neurological stress pathway in the body. there's also chemical stress. The food we eat, air we breathe, things that we're exposed to, whether we know it or not, are chemical stressors we're going to face every day of our life. And then there's emotional stress, life, relationships, abuse, and trauma. And all of those things affect us every day of our life. The secret in creating and being healthy is not avoiding stress, is being resilient in the face of stress. And that's a huge difference, because we're living a kind of a culture where there's so many misconceptions about what health is and what it's not. Probably the biggest one is if we feel good, we're healthy. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
But people feel good and die of heart attacks, feel good and have cancer. So it has to be more than feeling good. Then there's a mentality, well, germs make you sick. But if that was the case, we'd all be dead. The truth of the matter is, germs will make a weak host sick, a body that's no longer resilient. So if the flu comes into your household, not everyone in your household automatically gets the flu. Who gets the flu? Those that are no longer resilient to it. The compromised, the vulnerable. And then the third mentality is probably if you eat organic and exercise, you're going to be healthy. And I am a big advocate of those things. But I have a number of patients that come in, have the cleanest diets you've ever seen, exercise all the time, and have cancer for the second time at 30. And then I know a number of people that eat garbage and never work out, and I think they'll live forever. The secret when it comes to health is resilience. And resilience is our body's ability each and every day to go from a place of balance, homeostasis in the body, adapt to the demands and stressors of life, and then recover. So the secret's not avoiding bad things, it's being resilient in the face of them.
Why? And I want to hammer on this. That's why I just wanted to focus this whole episode on that, and then introduce some solutions to people, because it's one thing to just rally up. Okay, emotional state, now what? But before we jump in, I just want to thank Patriot Mobile. Thank you, Patriot Mobile, for making this possible. I want to encourage you to check out Patriot Mobile. Dial 972-PATRIOT. When you do, mention the bottom line, which is the show. That's where you're at. And it's down to the bottom line. Again, we're going to discuss stuff here with Dr. Pete that nobody else is talking about because it's bottom line issues. 972-PATRIOT. If you mention the bottom line, you're going to get free activation. Use the same major carrier towers. You're going to get incredible service. But what's most important is they put their money back into Judeo-Christian conservative values. They're the only Christian conservative cell phone carrier in our country. They support us to fight human trafficking. So check them out. Pete, why? This is a huge question, and I'm not expecting a pinpoint answer. But why is the medical community not talking about this? Why do we not hear from the medical community that, look, stress is unavoidable, okay? It's the different stressors in your life. It's not about stress. It's how you adapt and go back to your homeostasis. That's not being discussed by Dr. Oz. None of them. Nobody's talking about why. What's the deal?
I honestly believe that in most cases, not all, but in most cases, people have been trained in the how-to. Okay, when you have this, do this, but not in the why behind it. And unless I know the why behind it,
most important question in the world.
I don't have the conviction to the choices that I make. So this week alone, I had an oncologist reach out to me and says, hey, we heard about what you're doing. It's different than anything we ever heard of before. It's about creating resilience, right? And I said, yes. He said, how do I get all my cancer patients under your care?
Amazing, yeah.
And so we hear that a lot right now. I have medical doctors that come to me. But when people begin to truly become teachable and humble themselves, that's myself included. When I remember years ago, I was a chiropractor. I knew the how-to. I was a good hustler, but I didn't know the why behind it. And I remember God saying, hey, son, you better humble yourself and become teachable. You're not going to finish this race. I said, well, what do you want to be humble about? He says, about the essence of health, what health truly is. And then he brought me on this journey to really understand stress physiology, that at the root of all disease, every single disease, and all medical research proves it, is a body that's under stress. One thing that every medical doctor, chiropractor, nutritionist, no matter what doctor you are, you can't disagree upon is stress physiology. Everyone agrees on physiology. The approach that we take in addressing it is different. But when it comes to stress physiology, a body that is away from homeostasis and rest is vulnerable. Essential activities in the body increase, non-essential activities decrease, just like COVID. When COVID first hit, essential businesses opened, non-essential businesses closed. When it comes to the body, a body under stress, essential activities, those necessary for survival increase. What are those? Heart rate, blood pressure, right? Blood sugar, stroke volume. Well, think about high blood sugar, diabetes, high blood pressure, hypertension, right? That's a stress response. Non-essential.
And there's a logic ladder in the body. There's a checklist, and the body's going to say, shut that system down because all energy, all efficiency has to go to this other for survival.
For survival.
It's always going to go towards survival. Well, you don't just want to be in survival mode because certain things shut down and it compounds. Right now, there's a compound effect. It's problem on problem on problem.
We'll say, for instance,
and you're talking about getting stuck in a stress response.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like if I'm at a zoo and we're having a good time enjoying each other's fellowship and a tiger gets out, we'll call it the epitome of a stressful situation. Well, we want our body to go into fight or flight response. Our pupils dilate to see the environment we're running to. Our heart rate goes up. Blood pressure goes up. But at the same time those things go up, our digestive system shuts down, our immune system shuts down, and even sex hormones, estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. Why? We're running away from a tiger. But when they cage the tiger, when the body's working the way it's supposed to, all of those things come back to normal homeostasis and rest. The problem becomes when a body gets over and consumed by the stressors and the demands of life. Eventually, it reaches what the medical community calls allostatic load. It's simply a medical term that means your body got stuck in a stress response. But if a body gets stuck neurologically, chemically, or even emotionally, that's the point of vulnerability. A body that was fearfully and wonderfully made, created to work, becomes very chaotic and dumb.
I want to just talk to the audience. Yes, you're hearing from a chiropractor. People don't really know this because I don't promote this, but my background, I studied sports medicine, orthopedics. So medicine's medicine. But what I don't want them to hear is we're not just talking about you got stuck with L4 or L5 being in trouble. Yes, Pete's a chiropractor. We're talking about the holistic body, fearfully, wonderfully made by God, has functions and it has systems in the body. So get outside of even chiropractic here. Go to just whole health.
Yeah.
Whole health. And we're talking about the body can get stuck in those stress responses. How long can someone get stuck?
Forever. And here's the reality. If you look at every disease, National Institutes of Health, for instance, if you look at throughout their research, they will actually show you that the top 100 diseases on the planet have one commonality. The body got stuck in a chemical stress response. As a chiropractor...
Peter, they're not talking about this.
No, they're not talking about it.
I'm talking about if they were going to... Look, if I said... And sorry for interruption, but if I said, look, I want to create an opportunity for you to succeed at something.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go create the perfect environment. As a father, it's my job to create an environment for my children to thrive.
Yeah.
It's part of my job. Now I've got to protect them, introduce them to God, but create an environment. The world has not had a better opportunity or environment for the last 2.5 years to bring real solutions to the table, right?
Yeah.
The table was set. Perfect environment, all the focus, everybody's attention, everybody hanging on every word, on NIH, on Fauci. Everybody's hanging on every word. It was the perfect opportunity to bring real long-term solutions. You want to talk about health reset.
Yeah.
Nobody talked about this.
No. But I think there's one is ignorance, right? Two is who's patting my pockets. There's a lot of different influences at play. Motive, absolutely. I think even for chiropractors, whether they know it or not, do an extremely effective job in affecting the neurological stress pathway, dealing with physical stress. Every time you provide motion into the spine, I don't care how you do it, you're stimulating the body's ability to get back to homeostasis neurologically and making the body more resilient. Well, there's also other pathways. There's a chemical stress pathway. It's referred to as the HPA axis. It's nothing to memorize, but it's the hypothalamus, pituitary, and the adrenal glands. Well, that pathway creates the stress hormone cortisol. Psychology Today says cortisol is public enemy number one. If you want to get fat, old, tired, and sick, and I don't know anyone who wants to do those things, then let cortisol go crazy. The thing is, we need cortisol every day to wake up. We need it as a protective mechanism and for energy stores. What we never want is the body to get stuck in a stress response chemically. Like I said, National Institutes of Health have proven if the body gets stuck in allostatic load and along the chemical stress pathway, every disease has that commonality. Well, what's interesting is the only thing ever proven to get that pathway out of a stress response if it gets stuck are what are called adaptogenic herbs. Now, 12 years ago, I've never heard of that term for anything.
I don't know that people, herbs, they go, okay, herbs, you're talking about thyme, adaptogenic herbs. Dive into that.
So what's interesting, so 12 years ago, patients started coming to me from all over the world consistently. My dilemma was if you came to my office in Knoxville from Texas, I could see you neurologically for a week, aggressively. But then eventually you have to come back to Texas. My dilemma was the stress you'd be under, okay, when you were gone. It put you at a disadvantage and myself as well, especially if we're trying to create resilience. So I called a buddy of mine named Jordan Rubin. He's brilliant. He's a formulator. He's created some of the top supplement lines on the planet. I said, man, here's my dilemma. He said, that's easy. Just put all your patients on adaptogenic herbs. I'd never heard that term before. So I looked it up. I said, sure, okay, tell me which ones. And I began to put all my out-of-state patients on adaptogenic herbs. And I found that they got better results than my in-state patients. So after a number of years, I began to study these herbs and put together 3 that work synergistically together that we believe you can take every day for the rest of your life, every day, forever product. And what we did is we created a product called Revel Restore that stimulates the HPA axis to restore homeostasis. And so how adaptogens work is this. They're different than caffeine. Caffeine is a stimulant, right?
Yeah.
There's also uppers and downers. Everything typically goes in one direction. The uniqueness about adaptogens is they do both. They are a thermostat in the body. They set the temperature. How? Restoring homeostasis. So if you need to come up to homeostasis or come down to homeostasis, that's what adaptogens do. They help regulate the body chemically to create resilience.
So I want to dive into this. And again, just homeostasis, what we're talking about is balance.
Yeah.
A layman's term would be balance. And what's balance? It's certain factors coming into harmony, synchronicity in the body, balance, et cetera, et cetera. But it's homeostasis. And so what you're saying, and Becca is going to pull up the Revel Restore website here because I want to get into the product because we want to bring real solutions to people. And that's your heart too. So you're saying during the course of a regular day, it is ebb and flow. It's stress back, like a rubber band. It recoils. But when it doesn't recoil, when you don't come back, you get stuck. And now it's a race against time. You get stuck longer and longer. It compounds, and ultimately the body is compromised. And now anything that's introduced can take a swing.
And so what I get typically is patients come to me and they give me a laundry list of conditions. And they've been to every doctor under the sun. And all they want is to get help. And really all the doctor wants to do is help them. So I don't know any doctor that doesn't truly want to help their patient. The problem is they have so many different culprits and so many different solutions. So even if 2 doctors can agree on the culprit, they have a different solution. It provides so much confusion. The true culprit in all disease is a body that failed to get back to homeostasis, whether it's neurologically, chemically, or emotionally. But if you can get the body back to homeostasis, let me tell you this, it's impossible for the body not to become better than it was previous.
Because the body was designed by God
to heal.
To heal.
Yeah.
It's almost like unlocking the potential.
It's unlocking destiny.
It
really is.
It was designed to heal. And it's not all about drugs. It's not. It's about things that God's given us in the field, which is biblical. That's scripture.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's interesting, though, because, so many times people say, well, Dr. B, you're a chiropractor. And then they start to understand our philosophy. And they go, well, you're way different than most.
That's right.
And I believe all chiropractic is better than no chiropractic. But I have the oncologist saying, hey, wow. You mean whether they do chemo or don't do chemo, whether they vaccinate or don't vaccinate, you can create resilience by getting the body back to homeostasis? Absolutely. And that's my point of view. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to empower you with information so that you can make good, sound decisions for you and your family. There's enough things to worry about with everyone telling me what to do with my family. But if you can empower me with information, now I can start to make good, educated decisions, and I can be an advocate for you on this journey to a happy and healthy life.
I want to jump to the website. We've got the site up. The viewers are seeing the site. Becca, will you do me a favor? Just scroll down there a little bit. I saw stress relief, sleep. We're going to get into all these. Keep scrolling for me. Recovery, energy, immunity, all these buzzwords. But here's a real solution. I think if you go to products, somewhere on the site it said build resilience. It said we'll dive into this. I want to talk about the first product here, Restore, Revel Restore. This product that we'll throw on the screen in a second. We go down to Revel Restore for me. There's Restore right there. So Revel Restore. We're going to talk about Restore. This is the product, and I'm on this every single day, and I have now been for a number of months. And there's 5 different products. We're going to go through them. Talk to me about this product particularly, because the other product, this for me is the gold standard.
Yeah. That's your signature product.
Yeah, signature, and the rest support this product. So talk to me about this particular product, Revel Restore. What's this product going to do? And it's an adaptogen.
Yeah. So Revel Restore is a group of 3 adaptogenic herbs: ashwagandha, cordyceps, and rhodiola. And when they combine synergistically together, they actually have this compounding effect to help stimulate the body's ability to get back to homeostasis, affecting what's called the HPA axis, which is the chemical stress pathway.
So we're attacking the chemical pathway.
We're creating resilience chemically.
Yes.
You come into my office, we're creating resilience neurologically.
But the body's chemistry, not with chemical infusion, with drugs, very different, because that does not restore resilience.
And it's not going one way. It's not like a multivitamin mineral. It's not like vitamin D. Okay, we have those things. This helps stimulate and balance the chemical stress pathway to create resilience. It restores homeostasis and regulates the body's ability to always get back to a place of balance, physiological balance in the body.
And inside this product, this is actually mine I brought from home. What's in this product, right? And I take 3.
Yeah.
What's in this product is a natural, God-given, adaptogenic herb.
All natural, proven to lower cortisol, proven to boost the immune system. But if you look at this, if we just get the body back to homeostasis, we increase immunity, we increase digestion, we decrease inflammatory response, we decrease the pain pathways, we enhance your mood, we enhance your body's ability to sleep and circadian rhythm. Why? Because a body at rest wins every single time, and this helps the body get back to rest chemically.
How often do people take this? How do they take it?
So what my recommendation for our patients is we have them take 1 to 2 in the morning on a regular doses and 1 to 2 around dinner. And anytime you're anxious, anytime you're overwhelmed, anytime you're not eating well, and you're just in one of those days where it's a busy day, you can't overdose on it, which is a nice thing because they're all natural and it acts as a thermostat. So it's simply going to bring you back to homeostasis.
Now, you've seen an actual, and we're going to get into some other things. We're fighting trafficking, and we're actually looking at, restoring balance in traumatized victims even.
Yeah.
But let's just talk about kids in school.
Mm-hmm.
Can a high schooler take this?
So let's just talk about this. Let's talk about physiology, because a lot of times we get ourselves in trouble because people make claims. Let's just stick to physiology. Under stress, the hippocampus of the brain, which is the learning and the memory center, shrinks. And guess what happens? You lose your ability to focus and you become dumber. But when you get the body back to homeostasis, every scientist on the planet will agree when you look at stress physiology that the hippocampus begins to open up. You get smarter and your ability to focus is retained. Why? By getting the body back to homeostasis. So we have it all the time. We have college students, we have high school students, we have moms and dads saying, hey, my kid can't focus. They get on these adaptogens and all of a sudden they're a better test taker, they can recall what they need to. Because I have a son who's brilliant, but when he takes a test, it's the stress response that actually shrinks that hippocampus and he can't focus.
It's like stage fright.
Yeah, stage fright.
It's like stage fright.
And this unlocks it.
This unlocks it.
But even for actors, we know that with actors, they begin to use it and they can remember their lines. They can flow with it the way they're supposed to. So you're going to see different
test scores. And this is me saying it. The company's not saying it. I'm saying when the hippocampus is relaxed.
Yeah.
And it can function in a way, there's going to be results, cognitive results. Thinking.
Alzheimer's, dementia. I don't treat Alzheimer's. I don't treat dementia. I don't treat heart disease. I don't treat headaches. My focus is to get the body back to homeostasis, to create resilience, and a body that gets to rest wins.
So that's Restore. That's this product. Becca, I know I'm throwing you around here. Just go back to the website, to the product line, Dan, and then we'll switch to that for the audience. But that's Restore. I take this. I take 2 of them in the morning. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, absolutely, I endorse it 100%. It is phenomenal. Easy to take. Easy. Let's talk, just because of where we are today, let's get into the immune product, if you don't mind.
So,
okay, this is called Immune, Revel. And again, it's Revel, Dr. Pete Sulack, Revel Restore, Revel Immune. What's also an adaptogen?
So we have our signature blend of adaptogens in it, but we encourage people to take it in combination with Revel Restore. But it's interesting, I created this before COVID ever came out. Okay. And what as I began to study the immune system and what boosts the immune system, everyone kind of agrees, and now with COVID, everyone really agrees, vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, right? We talk about bromelain, we talk about N-acetylcysteine. Even the medical doctors that come to me, they're in the ICU, they said, hey, these misses N-acetylcysteine is helping affect those spike proteins. Well, if you begin to combine all of those that everyone suggests, it's like $300 a month. This product is a fraction of that, and it has all of those things in it, which boosts the immune system. Now watch this. If you don't get the body back to homeostasis, the immune system already downregulates. Yeah. So you have to get the body back to homeostasis. And as you do that,
which is restored,
create
balance, and then
you can begin to create that toughness.
Yeah.
So this is the elasticity, and this is the toughness.
This is fortifying. This is literally creating medical toughness. It's on the screen. That's what I love about this website too. Folks, when you go there, it's explained. It's explained to you to where you can understand it. So Restore brings your body back to balance. Immune starts building toughness.
Yeah. It's the toughness aspect of resilience.
Okay, 100%. Fantastic. When I walk into, yesterday I'm walking into 7-Eleven, and I'm going to the back. I promised one of the kids I'd get them, a healthy drink. I walk back, and I see this guy. He's obviously in a stress response.
Yeah.
So I make way for him, and he goes in the door. And I'm thinking, I want to see what this guy's deal is, because I'm always in situational awareness. I'm always reading people, right? So first I go, potential predator. No, so I'm following this guy. He makes a beeline to the back, as guys do, to the energy drink aisle.
Yeah.
And he opens and he pulls 2 energy drinks right away. And that's almost anybody that walks into a 7-Eleven that's a guy today, just killing their bodies with fill in the blank, the name in the blank. I don't need to bash any brand. All right. So I want to go to the energy product. Revel Energy. And Becca, if you can find Revel Energy on the screen. Talk to me about this product.
Well, I was one of those people. Back in the day,
you drank Red Bulls.
I would drink a Kiva juice smoothie with sherbet in it and a Red Bull on top, in it. And I thought that was true. I'm going to have energy to see my patients in the afternoon. But for whatever reason, in the afternoon, I wasn't that energized. And so we began to look and said, okay, we know what caffeine does to the adrenal glands, which is what creates the stress hormone cortisol. And so we said, how do we create something that can actually produce natural energy? And we all know about B vitamins.
Again, unlocking the body's ability, ATP energy, unlocking the body's ability to produce energy.
And so what most people don't understand is that when I consume food, which is fuel for my body, the mitochondria of each cell is the powerhouse that takes the food and the fuel that I'm consuming and converts it into ATP energy and metabolites, life, everything I need to survive. Well, the byproduct of energy production are what are called free radicals. Free radicals are those nasty buggers that rot your cells and cause you to age faster, increase inflammation and pain. Well, antioxidants are there like a magnet to free radicals to get them out of the body.
Suck them out, yeah.
So what energy does is it's a product that helps facilitate cleaning out the mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell, to make energy more efficient so I can get good natural energy the right way with no caffeine.
So just in the age, and it's so cool. This is the product, guys. If you look at the product, it's this beautiful green. And I can't help it. But I'm thinking about, the radical Green New Deal. And they go, we got to clean up the air.
Yeah.
We got to be energy efficient. We got to go electric cars. I hear Elon Musk, hey, get away from this and that, be electric. Well, what about your body? What about being energy efficient in your body?
Okay,
right?
so
and again, nobody's talking about it.
But if I go to the gas station and I put gas in my engine, and I put the nastiest gas ever into my engine, I can still get 2,000 miles and back and go there a couple times, but it's at the expense of tons and tons of corrosion.
Yeah.
Well, the same thing is if I don't pay attention to what I put in my body, I can get to where I want to. I can get some energy, but it's at the expense of tons and tons of corrosion. What if you could get natural energy without the corrosion?
But that's the Red Bull. Yes, it gives you energy, but there's a price. And there's a major price to pay. There's friction in the body.
This is the clean fuel for the body.
This is going to make sure that the energy is clean. So even for those out there that are all about being green in the environment, I always say people are more important than the planet.
Yeah.
People. Well, what about clean energy in the body? This is it. So that's super well explained there. I love it. A product that for me has really impacted me because I sleep 4 hours a night. I believe I'm on this planet to get work done. So that those 4 hours better count.
Yep.
Is sleep.
Yeah.
This product, I'm telling you, had a radical effect in my REM sleep. Talk me through this, and we're almost at the end here, but talk me through sleep, and then we'll jump to recovery, the last one real quick.
Sleep is something we actually created for the military initially. They were using, some of the special ops guys were using Revel Restore, but really sleep is so crucial. And so we wanted to create a sleep product that helps get the body into deep REM sleep. The first half of REM sleep is where the body begins to regulate emotions with experiences, which is necessary, especially with a lot of trauma. And the second half of REM sleep is where the body begins to really restore itself and heal itself. But we wanted to do a natural product, but that did not have melatonin in it. Now, this is huge.
No melatonin.
No melatonin, because most natural health experts will say you want melatonin, and I'm in agreement, but not at the expense of the pineal gland stopping to create it on its own. What I do not want is to make your body dependent on a natural, I don't care if it's natural or medical. We don't want the body to become dependent on anything. The body was fearfully, wonderfully made. So we created a product that can actually help the body get into a deep REM sleep without hindering the pineal gland's ability to create melatonin on its own.
I'm telling you, people that say they don't dream is because you don't get into that second phase of REM sleep.
Yep.
You will dream, you'll sleep, you'll wake up energized. Your 9 hours you think you need will reduce to less. I'm just telling you, it is no question. And look at Scripture. God says, I advance you in your sleep, which is biblical. And that could be, hey, don't stress about your job, but it literally means the body heals when it sleeps.
Yeah.
When you rest, and if you don't rest well, or you don't get to the phase of rest, again, it's unlocking the natural ability of the body. And this product, look, the other products, amazing, they do, but this product had an immediate impact on my life.
Well, if you look at antidepressants right now, they actually inhibit the body's ability to get into REM sleep. The very place that the body actually restores and balances out emotions you can't get in. That's
but if
why
we look at also screen time
warning.
at night and rapid eye movement, all these things, I would argue, and I don't know, you probably have a stat on this, and we'll pull that next time, but I would argue very few people actually get the type of sleep.
Yeah.
It's not just
about
the
restorative
volume.
sleep. We need restorative sleep that balances out the body.
Okay, now something goes wrong, and you are in the stress response, right? For whatever reason, and it's seasonal. It may be, final exam time for the kid, or it may be, games or physical, or just a season of life. Talk to me about recovery.
Recovery is just an all-natural anti-inflammatory. Under stress, the body begins to create free radicals, which creates inflammation, and inflammation is the ingredient of chronic illness. But what we create in this is it has the turmeric, the curcumin in it, which we all know is there's tons of research on the anti-inflammatory properties. But what it has is proteolytic enzymes. And when you take proteolytic enzymes on an empty stomach, it actually begins to break down scar tissue, cellular waste, and fibrin to clear it out from the body. So we have people with frozen shoulders that we put on this, and they come back a month later and go, Dr. Pete, literally, my shoulder works. Like, I've been everywhere.
Because it breaks down the scar tissue.
Yeah.
And inflammation. Yeah. Inflammation is a big enemy.
People say, well, can I take it with food? Sure, you can.
And we think COVID, it's an inflammatory.
Yeah. It's an inflammatory thing, so it's going to help clear out the lungs, clear out the cellular waste in the cells. It goes to the cellular level, and it clears out cellular waste, fibrin, and scar tissue. Why? The proteolytic enzymes begin to break that up and deliver it and eliminate it from the body.
Again, cleaning the body out to function the way it was supposed to function. This should be a 2.5-hour show, and we will make sure next time it is. We're going to throw everything on the screen. This is Dr. Pete Sulack. Why are you not hearing this from the medical community? I don't have an answer for you, but you just heard it. Please check out Revel Restore and the Revel line of products. It's on the screen. I endorse it wholeheartedly. More discussions to come. The way you think about medicine is refreshing. I think we need to make it clear to people. It makes sense if you want to go drive an electric car and not emit greenhouse gases and clean out the waste and have the trash man pick up the trash from your house and vacuum every once in a while and clean, then maybe we need to clean the body and get the body back to a place where it's at rest so it can restore. Dr. Pete, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
It's been an honor. God bless you.